seems Martio here. Welcome to Friday, which always means it's a live album ranking day. And today we're going to have a look at the live albums of the Beach Boys, which I'm sure Simon will be happy about. Beach Boys, of course, formed in 1961, consisted of brothers and cousins. Wilson, we had Brian, Dennis and Carl, and their cousin Mike Love, and a friend called Al Jardine. Still sort of going now, yeah. And over the years they have released 11 live albums. So we're going to have a look at them today. So, coming in at number 11. Now this is Sunshine Tomorrow. Now this is an expanded reissue of Wild Honey, and this came out in 2017. It consists largely of previously unreleased material that the group had produced after abandoning Smile in mid-67, included the first ever complete stereo mix of Wild Honey, live performances, 8 outtakes, session highlights, etc, etc. So disc 1 is the Wild Honey stereo mix. We've talked about that before. Also you get on there is the Wild Honey sessions, and then there's some Wild Honey tracks from that album live that were recorded between 67 and 70. Wild Honey's on there, Country Air Darling, She Boogalooed It, Aren't You Glad, and Mama Says. Disc 2 is the Smiley Smile sessions, and it includes Lied in Hawaii Live, which was an unreleased album from September 67. So you've got the Fred Vale intro on there, you've got The Letter, You're So Gold, Help Me Rhonda, California Girl, Surfer Girl, Sloop John B, with a little help from my friends, the Beatles number, Their Hearts Full of Spring, God Only Knows is nice on there, Good Vibrations, Game of Love, and then there's an alternative take of The Letter, a stereo mix of Little Help with My Friend. Then you get more from Live in Hawaii in 1967. You get Hawthorne Boulevard, Surfing, Getting Hungry, Hawaii Rehearsal Take, Heroes and Villains, the rehearsal version. Then the Thanksgiving Tour of Live in Washington and Boston, California Girls, Graduation Day, I Get Around. First two were done in Washington, I Get Around in Boston. Then you get the sequel, Sunshine Tomorrow, the studio sessions, live album cover of Sunshine, Live in Hawaii again from 67, rehearsals of, this is interesting, this album, it's got the rehearsals of Heroes and Villains, God Only Knows, Good Vibrations, The Letter, rehearsal, really good. And then you get Live in Detroit 67 and Live at White Plains. Okay, it's not bad, but when you get boxes like this, you get the same tracks. Nothing, you know, if everything was different, it'd be good. I don't mind listening to the live bits of it though, that, you know, and the rehearsal bits. It's fun how they the rehearsal. That's always worth a while. But I don't know if this was a money making thing, so I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 4.5. Okay, coming out at number 10 is an album released in 2015, but it was recorded in 1965 in Chicago at the Airy Crown Theatre, Chicago, on the 26th of March 1965. So you get an intro, you get Do You Wanna Dance, Little Honda, Surfing USA, Don't Worry Baby, Papa Mau Mau, Monster Mash, the Bobby Prickett number, Louie Louie, a lot of covers here, Hawaii, Surfer Girl, Runaway, the Del Shannon song, Shut Up Wendy, Please Let Me Wonder, Fun Fun Fun, I Get Around, Johnny Be Good. And then the second show, it's the same tracks in a different order. I'm not going to read them back out again. Then you get the rehearsals, same sort of sex. Yeah, you've got two shows. Okay, they're in different orders, but they're the same songs. So I'm going to give that a RTO ranking of 4.6. Okay, coming in at number 9, we've got another album released in 2014, but it was recorded in Sacramento in 1964. It's got Mike Love on it, Al Jardine, Brian Wilson, Dennis Wilson, and it was recorded at the Memorial Auditorium in Sacramento. So we've got Little Honda, Papa Mau Mau, that little old lady from Pasadena, great track, Usher by Hawaii, Let's Go Trippin', The Wanderer, The Monster Mash, Surfer Girl, True to Your School, Graduation Day, Surfing USA, Don't Get Back Down, Don't Worry Baby, which is a lovely version on here, Wendy, I Get Around, Fun Fun Fun. Then we get the second show, same songs, different order. Now, the only thing I find about that, you can't hear half of the songs because there's so much screaming on it. But when you do get to hear them, it's some nice versions of them songs. So I'm going to give that one an RTO ranking of 5 out of 10. Okay, number 8. Again, released in 2016, but it was on Graduation Day, 1966. Help Me Rhonda, I Get Around, then they do a medley that's got Fun 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 in it, Shut Down, Little Deuce Coupe, Surfing USA, really good little thing put together there. Surfer Girl, Papa Mau Mau, You're So Good to Me, You've Gotta Hide Your Love Away, another Beatles song, Californian Girls even, The Sloop John B, Wouldn't It Be Nice, God Only Knows, which is nice on here, Good Vibrations, Graduation Day, Barbara Ann. Then we get the second show, Michigan. Same tracks, different order. This is quite subdued. The crowd on this one are very quiet. But I don't know why we had to have it twice, but it's not a bad live album actually, so I'm going to give that an RTO ranking of 5.5. Okay, coming in at number 7, we've got the third live album released in 1973, and it's the Beach Boys in concert. And it's the final album which Blondie Chaplin and Ricky Fajata appear as official members. So you got Carl Wilson, Dennis Williamson, Al Jardine, Mike Love, Blondie, Ricky. Additionals on here, we have got Billy Henge on vocals and keyboards, Robert Kenyatta on percussion, Mike Kowalski drums, Carl Munns keyboards, got Joe Pollard on percussion as well. So this album opens up with Sailor on Sailor, which is off the Holland album. Now it's pretty dreary on the studio album, but the live album version is pretty good. It's actually not a good song. Then we get the Sloop John B from Pet Sounds, of course. Back to Holland for The Trader. Again, it sounds a lot better live. Lots of stuff from Pet Sounds. We've got You Still Believe Me, a lovely song. Californian Girls, which is actually off the Summer Days and Summer Nights. Darling from Wild Honey, can't go wrong with that one. Sounds much better live again. Marcella, which is another really Tweed song on the album, but from the Coles and the Passion, So Tough, but it sounds so much better live. Caroline from Pet Sounds is good. Leaving This Town, probably the best version from Holland. I like that. Heroes and Villains of Smiley Smile. Lots of stuff from Holland. We've got Funky Pretty, which is another good version. Let the Wind Blow from Wild Honey's on here. Help Me Rhonda, the Beach Boys Today. Surfer Girl from Surfer Girl. Wouldn't It Be Nice? Then We Got Love from Holland. Sounds really strong on here. Don't Worry Baby from Shut Down Volume 2. Love that song. Surfing USA. Good Vibrations and Fun 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 to end it. Some of the song, now the songs off like Holland and that sound really good, but the hits don't sound nothing. They've really changed them. Do I need that? Not really. Play them as they're supposed to be. I'll give this one an RTO ranking of 6 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 6, we got the first ever live album by the Beach Boys, and it was released in 1964, and it's called Beach Boys Concert. So you've got Mike Love, Al Jardine, Brian Wilson, Carl Wilson, Dennis Wilson, who does the Wanderer vocals on The Wanderer. It was now this was really some of the other stuff recorded at the Sacramento on the previous album, but so you've got Fun Fun Fun, the little old lady from Pasadena, which is a Jan and Dean song, Little Deuce Coupe, good track, Long Tall Texan, which is a Flickers single, Surfer Girls on here, Bobby Pickett's Monster Mash, that's quite good. Let's Go Trippin', which is Dick Dale and the Deltones. Papa Mau Mau, which is actually a Riverton song. They were quite good friends with them. The Wanderer from Dion. Surfer Girl, Graduation Day from the Four Freshmen. I Get Around, and Johnny Be Good from Chuck Berry. Lots of screaming on this, but it's quite historical. So I'm going to give that an RTO ranking of 6.3. Okay, coming in at number 5, released in 2018, but it was recorded in 1968, and it's called The Beach Boys on Tour, and the shows are taken from. It's a box set, and you've got a set from Chicago, Illinois, Fargo, Nevada, Waterloo in Idaho, Lincoln, New England, and Phoenix, Arizona, and some shows in London at the Palladium and Finsbury Park, Astoria. They're all the sort of things. So you get God Only Knows from the Soundcheck and Good Vibrations. Then you get Darling, Help Me Rhonda, California Girls, Sloop B John, Surfer Girls, Friends, Little Bird, Wouldn't It Be Nice? A medley of Surfing Safari, Fun Fun Fun, Shut Down Little Deuce, Surfing USA, Do It Again, Wake the World, God Only Knows, The Hearts, Full of Spring and Good Vibrations, and Barbara Ann. You get this, everyone's different, but the best shows are the ones from London, especially the London Palladium one. It's a good concert, but did we need a dozen versions of the same tour? Not really. So I'm going to give that one an RTO ranking of 6.5. Okay, coming in at number 4, a live album from 2006. And they're all songs recorded in some of the songs are recorded in 1974, and there's some studio stuff, and it's called Songs from Here and Back. So it's Mike Love, Al Jardine, Carl Wilson, Dennis Wilson, Ricky Patar, got Ron Outback on keyboards. We'll go through all the things. Live songs from 1989 as well. So you get a little intro, and then Dance, Dance, Dance from the Beach Boys today. Wouldn't It Be Nice from Pet Sounds? Surfer Girl from. Then we get Kimono, which is on the album Cocktail from the film Cocktail and Still Cruising. I quite like that. It's one of their better later tracks. Then you get Little Deuce Coupe, I Get Around, All Summer Long, and Good Vibrations. And then you get a song from Brian Wilson called The Spirit of Rock and Roll. So you've got Brian Wilson on piano and vocals, Scott Bennett vocals and guitar and bass, Nelson Bragg on vocals, drums and percussion, Taylor Mills on vocals, and Joel Penskin on saxophone. It's a little quirky little song, typical sort of Brian Wilson Beach Boys style song, and I don't mind it. It's really good. Then Al Jardine does a track, and it's called PT Cruiser. So you've got Al Jardine, Matt Jardine, and Adam Jardine. Keep it in the family. Billy Hinch on piano, Ed Carter bass, Bobby Fugero on drums, Craig Copeland lead guitar, Richie Cantana on tenor sax. This is really good. You can always tell who was involved in the Beach Boys songs when you listen to these. Who had the influence. It's a nice song, nice vocal from Al. I don't mind that song at all. And the last one is a track from Mike Love, and it's called Cool Head, Warm Heart. Mike Love's on this, doing lead and backing vocals. Adrian Baker backing vocals. Christian Love backing vocals. Paul Fasaro programming. Chris Hugo on bass. Joel Penskin tenor sax. Scott Trotton guitar, and Kirk Pescara drums. It's a little bit, this one, I'm not a good fan of this. It's just very middle of the road, sort of 70s stuff. Least favourite of the new tracks. Pretty good tracks. The studio ones are okay. Some nice live versions, so I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 6.6. Okay, coming in number 3, we've got the 50th Anniversary Tour album, released in 2013. It was recorded during the band's reunion and recorded in 2012. So this features Al Jardine, Bruce Johnson, Mike Love, David Marks, Brian Wilson, Carl Wilson, Dennis Wilson, who comes on, and Carl Wilson because they come on archive recordings. So they open this one up with a single that they released called Do It Again. Brilliant. Little Honda from All Night Summer. Great. Catch a Wave, Surfer Girl, Hawaii Surfer Girl. All summer long we get Don't Back Down. Surfing Safari from the same name. Surfer Girl. The Girl I Only Knew Once, which is another single off Not on an Album from 65. Wendy, All Summer Long. Get You Back from the Beach Boys. Then I Kissed Her, their version of it, by the Crystals, of course, but it was on the Beach Boys Party album. Marcella from Carl and Passions, good version of that on here. Isn't It Time, which is from there, That's Why God Made the Radio. Not one of my favourite songs, but it sounds a lot better live. Then Frankie Lyman's Why Do Fools Fall in Love. When I Grow Up to Be a Man from the Beach Boys. Today, Disney Girls from Surf's Up. Be True to Your Skull from the Little Deuce Coupe album. Then the track itself. 409, which appeared on 2 albums. Surfing Safari and Little Deuce Girl. Shut Down from Surfing USA and Little Deuce Girl. I Get Around. Pet Sounds, of course. Add Some Music to Your Day from Sunflower. What a nice version of that is. Heroes and Villains, of course, from Smiley Smile. Then 2 tracks from Holland, which are very good. As I said before, they're much better live. We've got Sail on Sailor and California Saga. Back to the Surfer Girl album for In My Room. All This Is That from Carl and the Passions, a good version of that. Then we have the title track, That's Why God Made the Radio, much better live. Forever, and this includes some lead vocals from archive recordings from Mr. Dennis Wilson himself. God Only Knows, which has got lead vocals, Carl Wilson on archive. So it's nice that they included them, even if it's just recordings. Wouldn't Be Nice, Good Vibrations, California Girls, Help Me Rhonda, and then Rock and Roll Music and Surfing USA. Kimono from The Cocktail and Still Cruising. Barbara Ann, Fun. And a proper history through the Beach Boys catalogue here with a few covers in there. Really nice that they included Dennis and Cole on a tape. Very good little album, and I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 7 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 2. Recorded in May 1970 in London, released in 76. It was recorded at the London Palladium in 1968. So it's Mike Love, Carl Wilson, Al Jardine, Dennis Wilson, Bruce Johnson. Additionals on here, we've got Daryl Dragon on pianos, Ed Carter plays the bass and tambourine, lead guitar on Bluebirds, Mike Kowalski percussion, and uncredited horns and possible cellos. So this one opens up from Wild Honey, Darling. Excellent version of that. Then we go into a couple of the classics from Pet Sounds, Wouldn't It Be Nice, and the Sloop John B. Bit of Californian Girls, Do It Again, that single. Make Up the World from Friends, really good. Aren't You Glad from Wild Honey. Bluebirds Over the Mountain from 2020, which is the best version of that. Then we have a song by Bobby Troop, The Hearts Were Full of Spring. Lots of people have done that. Good Vibrations is on here, really good version of that. God Only Knows and Barbara Ann. Pretty good live album. Not much screaming because it's London. They're a bit more subdued. Fun album. Decent So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.3. But my favourite album, live album from the Beach Boys, is Good Timing. And it was when they played at Knebworth in 1980, and this was released in 2002. Recorded on the 21st of June 1980. And it's their only released concert performance that features Brian Wilson, Dennis Wilson, Carl Wilson, Mike Love, El Jardine and Bruce Johnson together. So it's quite a significant set lineup. So get the intros here, and they go straight into Californian Girls from Summer Nights, followed by the Sloop John B from Pet Sounds, a little bit of Darling from Wild Honey. Then they do a Chuck Berry number, School Day. Ring ring goes the bell. A fantastic version of God Only Knows from Pet Sounds. Then we have Be True to Your School from the Little Deuce Coupe. Brilliant. Do It Again's on here, Little Deuce Coupe as well. Cotton Fields. And then they get it's sort of glued together with Heroes and Villains. Cotton Fields, of course, is from 2020. Smiley Smile for Heroes and Villains. Then they sing Happy Birthday to Brian. Keeping the Summer Alive from the album Keeping the Summer Alive. Again, the best version of that song. Lady Linda, which is from the LA Light album, which is pretty weak on the album, but as a live track, excellent. Surfer Girl is good. Help Me Rhonda, a bit of rock and roll music from Chuck Berry. I Get Arounds on here. Surfing USA, You're So Beautiful, which is a Joe Cocker number. Good Vibrations, which was a single but then appeared a year later on Smiley Smile. Barbara Ann. Fun, fun, fun. Now, considering this is recorded at Knebworth, which is not the best place to record in, the sound is great. Because the way that Knebworth's shaped, you've got the stage here and then it goes up like that, locking things so that sound does get lost. But a damn good performance. By the way, other people appeared on that bill was Santana, Elkie Brooks and Mike Oldfield. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.5. So there we go, a bit of live Beach Boys. Coming up next is an alteration, because when I did put things together, it was saying that the Manic Street Peaches album was going to be out last Friday, but it weren't. It's out today. So I had a stand-in, and it's some Bob Young, who's associated with Quo and wrote many of their songs, and he made a little album called In Quo Country. So we'll be having a little look at that. So bye for now.